Welcome back to Robyn's Academy. Today we are diving into the magical mystery and somewhat downright maddening world of sunset photography. But before you go anywhere, we are not regurgitating the same old tips on golden hour and the rule of thirds and making sure you've got your light balance correctly. No, 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 no. Today, we're exploring some of the sunset photography tips that you probably haven't heard of. I wanted to give you kind of the tips people don't talk about. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's capture that fiery ball like you've never before. Okay, so first up, it's not about the sunset. The sunset encables you. Think of it more as the best backdrop you've ever had. It is not the be all and end. You still need to make sure that you have something to focus on, that you have something you can appreciate, that you are giving a story and you are guiding the viewer through something. Now, yes, you can do that literally with the sun, but I'm telling you now there's more to it than you think. So planning out your shot beforehand will help you because that sunset goes down really damn quick. The biggest thing obviously people think of is wide angle lens over the sea and we just take the shot. Well, yes, okay, but we don't want all right. We want a stunning sunset photo. So we can think about this by focusing on the clouds, making sure you've got those different hues, bringing a different depth of field in. We can consider lens choice. And like I said, we have a typical thing about going for a wide angle lens. Why not use a zoom? Use that compression. Make that sun stand out even more by compressing that focal length and making sure that you've got it in shot. Trust me, it works. Next up, we need to obviously make sure that we can see the sun. And this is an absolute classic mistake that I see so many people do. They don't change their metering mode to enable to cope with the difference between the glorious bright sunshine and that beautiful dark hues of the sky. So being able to change your metering mode and using a spot meter, you can able to make sure that you are correctly exposing the brightest parts of the scene and dealing with those other issues. For those of us who are still not 100% comfortable with manual mode, I will say that your camera is perfectly capable of doing this, but you need to know your camera settings. And if you're not great with them, then I would highly recommend doing a longer exposure because it enables you to slightly underexpose with that exposure compensation and capture the vibrant colors in the sky. You can always put the two together after if you need to. So exposure compensation will be your best friend when it comes to sunsets. Also remember that we do have lens filters for a reason, and your ND filter at this moment in time will be an absolute glorious thing for you, especially if you can consider something like a gradient ND filter, which will enable you to obviously calm down that night sky but still embrace your foreground. So if you're looking for a landscape shot, then I would highly recommend make sure that you've got a gradient ND because it will work wonders for you. If you, like me, don't always have your ND filter when you really, really need it, then make sure you've got your polarizer in there because it will reduce the glare and it will increase the color saturation of that night sky. Now, of course, for those creative artists with me, because I know that you like to get slightly more interesting, consider adding a little bit mood and depth to your shot by using leading lines and interesting foreground items so that you can create a dynamic composition. Next up, I would highly recommend that you experiment with white balance. Obviously, I am a notorious person that says put it on auto, leave it there, leave it alone, don't touch it. You can sort it out after. And to an extent, we can. We can still play with it in post process, but you'll need to edit the photo, which apparently people don't like to do anymore. If you want those warmer, worthy tunes, then pick a daylight white balance or a cloudy or even a manual adjustment so you can hit the perfect tone that you're looking for. And as I just said, don't worry about it. We can do it in post processing, and editing your sunset photos is not cheating. I'm going to say it one more time. It's not cheating. We have a situation where we agree that adjusting the exposure, the contrast, the colors in our favorite editing software, whichever that may be, will create some of your best and artistic shots. Okay. It is not cheating. I honestly believe that it's not about fabricating the reality, but embracing and revealing the beauty within the present moment that isn't always possible with the naked eye. Ultimately, it is a personal choice how much you edit, but I honestly believe that you are embracing what's there rather than fabricating it. Now, the other biggest problem I see is people don't know where to focus. Now, a proper focus is absolutely essential. And for landscape shots, then I highly recommend that you focus on 1/3 of the shot. So you make sure that that's particularly in focus. So if you're looking for that buttery, wonderful foreground shot to give that dynamicness, that's absolutely fine. You could do something like silhouettes, enabling you to keep the crispness and to keep it crisp against the night sky. There are so many different ways that you can do this, but you need to make sure that you make a choice, because trying to get all of it, you'll get none of it. The final thing that I will say is please be patient. Arrive early, stay late, be ready for the unexpected light and colours, and just embrace being in the moment, because when you learn to relax and lean into what you have is when you get the best shots. Now, obviously, try out these tips and let me know the results in the comments below. If you want to drop a link to an Instagram or, Twitter, whatever, I will love to see what you guys are getting up to. And if you found even a single one of these tips helpful, then obviously please hit that like button. It really does help me continue to make content like this and be able to share some of my things that hopefully you didn't necessarily think about. And if you want more, subscribe, hit the bell, and until next time, happy clicking.